One question many people around the world are asking is, how did Pope Francis die? Was it natural causes? Was there something more mysterious? In today's video, we uncover the truth behind the death of one of the most influential popes in modern history. Stay with us as we explore his final days, his legacy, and the impact he leaves behind. Welcome back to Know All History. To all my amazing subscribers, thank you so much. I love you all. And if you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive in. Firstly, know this: for over 2,000 years, the papacy has stood at the center of history, guiding faith, influencing politics, and shaping cultures across the globe. From St. Peter to John Paul II, each pope has left a unique mark on the Catholic Church and the world beyond. But in 2013, history took an unexpected turn. For the first time ever, the Cardinals chose a man from the global south, from Argentina, to lead the world's 1.3 billion Catholics. A humble Jesuit named Jorge Mario Bergoglio. He took the name Francis after St. Francis of Assisi, signaling a new direction for the Church, one rooted in humility, poverty, and peace. Over the next 12 years, Pope Francis became not just a religious figure, but a global voice for compassion, justice, and the forgotten. In the final months of his life, Pope Francis's health had been visibly declining. He struggled with chronic knee pain, sciatic nerve issues, and mobility problems that often left him in a wheelchair. In early March 2025, he was admitted to a Vatican hospital with a severe respiratory infection. Doctors later diagnosed it as double pneumonia, a dangerous condition, especially for someone his age. He remained under care for 5 weeks. While his public appearances stopped, he continued private prayer, spiritual reading, and limited meetings from his residence at the Domus Sanctae Marthae, a modest guest house he had chosen over the opulent apostolic palace. But those closest to him noticed a change. The Pope was quiet, reflective, and at peace. Many believe he knew the end was near. On the morning of April 21, 2025, Vatican staff entered his residence to find him unresponsive. At 5:45 a.m., Pope Francis had suffered a massive stroke. Emergency physicians rushed to stabilize him, but the stroke led to a deep coma. Just minutes later at 6:34 a.m., Pope Francis went into cardiac arrest and passed away peacefully in his sleep. There was no dramatic announcement, no final address, just silence, and a church in mourning. The Vatican press office released a simple statement: His Holiness Pope Francis has returned to the house of the Father. The world responded immediately. Bells tolled across Rome. Thousands of people began gathering in St. Peter's Square, some weeping, others praying quietly. Leaders from every faith tradition offered tributes. From the slums of Latin America to refugee camps in Africa, those he championed mourned their shepherd. He had walked with them, spoken for them, and reminded the world they existed. On April 26th, Pope Francis was laid to rest in a historic funeral attended by more than 250,000 mourners. The Mass was presided over by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re and held in St. Peter's Square under gray skies. In keeping with his final wishes, Francis chose not to be buried in the traditional tombs beneath the Vatican. Instead, he was laid to rest in the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, a church he visited the day after becoming pope, and a place he deeply loved. He became the first pope in over a century to be buried outside Vatican grounds, a final act of humility. Pope Francis will be remembered as the people's pope. He brought the church closer to the poor, to the broken, and to the forgotten. He broke protocol, challenged tradition, and constantly reminded the world that mercy is more powerful than judgment. He washed the feet of prisoners. He embraced the disabled. He spoke to children in war zones. He opened doors for conversations on climate change, LGBTQ+ inclusion, economic justice, and interfaith dialogue. Even those who disagreed with him recognized his sincerity and his courage. In the history of the Church, few popes have been as beloved and as controversial. That, perhaps, is the mark of a true reformer. With the death of Pope Francis, the chair of St. Peter once again sits empty. The College of Cardinals is scheduled to begin the Papal Conclave on May 7, 2025, the sacred process to elect the next pope. Whoever is chosen will inherit not just a church but a global stage transformed by the legacy of Francis. His successor will face challenges but also carry forward a message of humility, justice, and radical love. Pope Francis died as he lived, quietly, humbly, and close to the people. But even in death, his voice echoes across generations. He taught us that leadership is service, that power means responsibility, and that faith must always walk alongside compassion. He was not just a pope, he was a bridge builder, a peacemaker, and above all a servant. May he rest in peace.